Hi there, Mr. Automation back, and today with some charting with PowerShell. And you can do some pretty cool stuff with PowerShell, of course, because it's in basically .NET, right? If you have like C# knowledge. I also programmed a lot of graphical user interface in C#, for instance, and you can utilize those libraries as well inside of PowerShell. And this video is about how to utilize charting in PowerShell. So basically doing some .NET stuff inside of PowerShell. And this is just an example here on the first screen that can create like a nice chart with PowerShell. Um, I did some searching on the internet to see if there were some decent free modules available for charting. I found some modules, but it didn't really fit my needs. So I did some searching myself and I created something myself. And PowerShell is basically just .NET, right? So things you can do in .NET. So in a C# application, for instance, that runs on .NET, you can do that as well in PowerShell with graphical user interfacing and such. So basically, what you can do in PowerShell, you can theoretically do as well in or what you can do in .NET, you can theoretically do as well with PowerShell. So that's pretty cool. We're going to add some assemblies on the Windows forms, data features, visualizations. Then we use some namespaces from that, like chart and the chart areas, to display our information right to the screen. And a chart always have an X and a Y value, right? And one is the name and the other is the count, right? That's the representation of a chart. So then a couple of examples. This is, for instance, a donut. I created this with, for instance, the top 12 file extensions in the Windows folder, right? It's a nice donut overview of the extensions. And we're going to even create this a nicer overview, right? Perhaps to change the background colors. Going to play a little bit with the bordering, right? Create even nicer reports. We have like the pie chart, right? This is a very nice one as well. This is one on the top 12 processes that run on my system that consume the most memory, right? And I have them now in a pie chart, so I see instantly that my virus scanner is using the most. And then I think it's Chrome, my browser, right? But it's a nice pie overview. And also we're going to play with this, right? This legend, for instance, on the right, we're going to play a little bit with the makeup of that as well. So we're going to make it a little bit fancier even. Then we have like a pyramid chart. I'm going to show a couple, not all, but I'm going to give you tips on how you can extend the script I post in the comments yourself, right, to create perhaps even more charts. This is an overview of a pyramid chart of the events on my system, the warning and error events I have. And here, for instance, I see that I have an event ID of 134 that has 44 error events. Oh, hang on. 44 error events, so I can inspect that, I mean. You see, it's a nice overview, nice chart, pyramid chart. Then we go to the stacked bars. It's also a very nice one. It's basically the same information of the processes again, but then differently presented, right? And still you see that like the virus scanner, this MSMP Eng, right, is using the most memory, and then it's Chrome, and then it's PowerShell, right? So you have a nice overview there as well. There are many more charts. I'll show you a couple and I'll show you how you can tap into other charts as well, right? Other charts type, how you can sort of reverse engineer what's inside of this data visualization charting series chart type, right? This guy here, this one. So I'll show you how that works. So we have pie, pyramids, and all kinds of other charting visualization capabilities. You're going to play a little bit with the output, right? We add some borders, like I told you, for better looks. We change some of the properties, like the background, perhaps even the font. I don't know. Um, it is a little bit tricky to display information inside of a chart. It took me some time to convert other objects to be accepted inside of a chart, and I found out that it accepts a hash table with a name and a count. So if you convert your object that you have to a hash table and stick that inside of that chart, then it looks fine. So that took me some time to find that out. It's all in the code, so you will see that in a second. And then we have the name, that's always a string, and the count is a type of integer, right? That's for the X and Y rendering. It makes sense if I show the script. Hang on. And then the script will be posted in the comment, of course, and I wish you good luck adjusting it for your own visualization needs. And now we go to the script. So this is a script. I first run it and then explain it a little bit. And I think I explain it while it's running because it's pauses on each output it displays. Basically, the script also waits until we close that window. So I just first run the script, press F5. We wait a little bit. It's gathering information now. So what this guy did, see this nice visualization. I'm gonna play with the output. Hang on, don't worry. I'll show you how that was constructed. So here, for instance, I give a title. So that's the top errors and warnings. You see, so you get that there, right? That's the title. And I can't size this up really. Hang on, let me open zoom it at least. I've zoomed it now. You can see, right? Looks like a nice pyramid. You see here, this is what I meant here. You see that? The top 12 errors and warnings. That is constructed here, right? The top and the top count, I have that here. So if I only want to see like the top 10, right? I change that value and then the script displays only 10 items in the chart only displays 10 items instead of 12. But I like the number 12, I guess. I have that for now. So that's the title that you see inside of your chart. Then here basically those are the events I want to stick inside of the chart, right? So I get them here. I get all those events from the system log. I'll size this up a little bit, perhaps not too big. Let me see, that should be fine. Yeah, so we get the events, right, from the system log, right? If you have your event viewer on your computer, you have like Windows, you have a system log, right? And what you see here, we're just tapping in via PowerShell into the same information, right? That's the system, and I only want to see the errors and warnings. So not all the informationals, I only want to see warnings, right? And I probably have errors as well. So those are the only ones that are captured. Then I group them by the instance ID. That basically means group them by the event ID. So that's a number. And then we sort that ascending, right? That we have like the the biggest one on top. And then we select the first based on the top count, right? So that's the top 12 right there. And then we select the count and the name because we need those properties and convert that to a hash table. And that we do that here. So here we have a function call. I'll show that in a minute. And inside of that function call, we feed it all these these events, and inside of this function, it converts it to a hash table. And go to definition. You see, so here in this function, we create a hash table. For all the items we send in, we convert that in that hash table, right? We add that and we give it a nice name like event ID and then the name and then the count. And then you see that here, right? Event ID colon and then the number and then the number of, then the event ID, I mean, and then the number of occurrences of that event. And we do that here. Very simple function. Now we go back. So that's done here. All these values are constructed. And what we do here is call another function and tell that function that we have those new values, right? This is this hash table we just created. We give it a title, the title we just constructed here, you see on line 144. And then we give it a chart type. And the chart type can be of several types. And I'll show you which types are supported. You can do that like this. So for instance, you have here like, you see that whole namespace. And if you do like that, you can call inside of the methods. And if you do then a control space, for instance, you get like a whole list of items that are supported there. And there is a bug here. Hang on, I need to stop the script first. So let me exit this one as well. And then we do control space. You see, and now you see all the items that are supported. So stacked bars, area. I haven't played with that one, by the way. Box plot, bubble, candlesticks, donuts. You see error bars. You have loads and loads and loads of options to display inside of your chart. And what we do on this line, right, is feed it one of those arguments that is accepted here, right, in this series charts type. And then we go to the function here to display the chart information, right? And I made a validate set there. that accepts pi, pyramid, bar, donut, stack bar, bar, and radar for now. But you can extend that with all the stuff you saw there. I'll show that again. Control space here. So every value that you see here, right? Let's Renko, for instance. I don't know what it is, but you can stick it inside of that function and then it gets accepted. And inside of that function, we call it chart type, right? And we stick that chart type in here. And this is what you saw earlier, right? All those values get accepted there. And then inside of this function, we construct that chart, basically what you saw earlier, right? And this is where you stick the keys and the values in from the hash table. That's input, right? This one, that's the input. You stick that in. And here you have some border coloring, we have some other stuff. We're going to play with that in a little bit, but this is it for now. So this is a function, and this basically displays that information to the screen for the end user, right? I'm not gonna go in too much detail because it's pretty complex, of course, because it's a little bit C sharp, it's not really scripting only. So I run the script again and I'll show all the examples. So you have an idea now how it works. So here I have one example, and then we do another example, but just with another data, right? Another type of data, and I again convert that to a hash table. I do the same, for instance, for all the extensions I have on my system. I convert them to a hash table as well, and then we output them to the chart as well. And we do that for the processes on the system as well. So first I run it and we show all the output. Then we're going to play with the output to make it a little bit fancier. So this is the top 12 errors and warnings on my system. A nice pyramid overview. You can change that, of course. If we stick in a pie, then it will be a pie. If it's a donut, it will be a donut. We close this one and we wait for the second one. It's now generated. Second overview. You see, this is the stacked bar, I think. It looks pretty nice as well. All the top 12, all events are not only error, but all the events of my system. I can see, for instance, that I have an event ID 10,400 that I have 68 times in my event log. So that's the most occurring one. I close this one. We wait for the next output. So this is all the file extensions in a donut chart, right? It's pretty nice. Like I told you, we're gonna make it even nicer. We close this one, and then we have another stack bar, I think. And you see, looks also pretty cool. Those are the top 12 processes on my system that consume the most memory. And this time it's Office that's consuming a lot of memory, I think. Yeah, Office and then the virus scanner. So now I close this. Okay, that looks pretty nice, I guess. And just play a little bit now with the output. So let's go to this function we have, and we have that here. Hang on. We have that here inside of the special functions. And for instance, you have a pi, pyramid, and you have bar. So let's stick pi now inside of the first example we had, right? We had here the first example, and we said it was a pyramid, right? And now we convert that to a pi. So let's run this. Let's see how it looks now, right? Now it should be a pi instead of, you see? Now we have a nice pi overview of all those event IDs. Remember the last overview that looks different? That was the pyramid. It looks pretty cool, huh? Now we're gonna play a little bit with the colors here on the legend. So that's there. I want to play a little bit with this area now, okay? I'll show you how that is done. So now we go back to the function where all the magic is going on with the coloring and such. And I needed to quit the script, by the way, because it's still continuing. Hang on. Let me close that. Yes. And now, for instance, we have a border color that's black. I don't know which border it is, but what you can do is the border width, right? Make it a little bit thicker. But we're not really interested in that one yet, not the chart. It's the legend. Yeah, this one. So let's make the legend, let's make a border around that and make the border width 2. So now we run the script again with new values and see um, how that report now looks. You see? Now all of a sudden, I think you already see that, but let me still zoom in on that. Now all of a sudden we have a nice green. See that area here around it? Looks a little bit nicer than the previous example. Let's see if we can do some more tuning there. Not gonna explore all properties, of course, of the charts and the legends, but perhaps this black one also looks pretty nice. By the way, I need to stop it again. I seem to forget all that all the time. But you see, this one also has now the green, the nice green line around it, the border. And let's see what we can do more, but I'm pretty sure we can do a lot more. Yeah, perhaps it's nice to play a little bit with the background color. Let's try. So here we have white, and here you can do the same trick. So we have like this comes from .NET, right? A system drawing.color. And inside of the colors, you have several colors, of course. And if you, for instance, remove this white, you delete that, and you do a control space, you get all the possibilities that you have. So let's scroll a little bit and try to get a nice color. I guess chocolate, coral, corn, zinc, cyan. I don't know. You see, it's insane amount of colors you can. Let's take light gray, perhaps. Yeah, let's take light gray. And now we run the code again, and we should see some difference. I hope at least. Let's see what we get now. You see? So now the background is light gray. See that? It's pretty cool. And perhaps we can even play with the background of the chart here, right? I don't know. We can play with that a little bit, I guess. And let's see if we can make the border, this black border, a little bit thicker, right, around that chart. That looks pretty nice. So we have the border is already black. Let's oh, I need to stop the code again. I forgot that again. I seem to forget that all the time. Let's close this one. And let's make it the border width of 3. Let's see how that looks. So we run this again. Some different coloring. You see, we now have a thicker border there, right? This black border is considerably thicker than the previous example, and you see this nice green one. So this report already starting to look pretty cool, to be honest. So let's see if we can change more, because you can imagine the power behind this, right? You can play with the colors yourself, of course. Let's do something with the fonts. So you have here the system.drawing.font size, exactly the same, right? I forget that all the time, so I close that one. And for instance, if you remove this and you do control space again, you see italic, regular, strikeout, underline. So those are the types of font styles you can choose. So for instance, we make it this time italic, and we make it the font size of 10, right? And now we run the code again, script again. And now we have a different font size and a different font type as well. You see here, this top 12 errors and warnings, that font size, we changed that. So that's pretty cool as well. And let's see if we can do more. Yeah, for instance, here, of course, you can specify other fonts if you know which fonts and which names, of course, there. Let me see if we can do some more. That's a title. You see, you can do something more with the bordering there, right? With the styles. Border width I showed, the coloring I showed of the border. Yeah, perhaps we make that blue. I think that's even nicer. Let's see. And I'm gonna try something else as well, because I'm not 100%. Now we stick in a string, right? String blue. I think that is supported. But since it is .NET, I think we can also stick in a color like this. And what you can do then is yeah, I'll show you that. And let's see if we have blue here as well. Yeah, we have blue, and we have blue violet even. So let's take that one. See, and you don't get that here, of course. If you do here, it's just the string, right? If you do, it shows you nothing. It doesn't know what you want to stick in. So you can stick in blue here, but you really need to know the name. And what I show you here is that you can basically also do that via .NET. And I don't know if this works, so we will see. We will see. I'm also testing. You see? So now we have a blue violet border around our chart. Let's see, perhaps the last one is try to change the background of the white hair of this chart itself. Let's see if we can manage to do that. And I think then it's the end of the video, otherwise it will become too long. Let's see if we can change the background of that guy. No, I don't think I'm looking, but I don't see a property there for that background. So I'll leave that now. I'm not gonna bother you searching the whole day for like one value or something. Let's see. Yeah, I want to show you one more time the trick on this one, right? So here, control space, you get all the options. So for instance, I'm gonna extend the script now with not a stacked bar, but do a step line. I honestly don't know what it is. We're just gonna play with that guy for now. So what I do, I add that as a valid value to the function. I'll do that now. So we have this display chart function and we have a radar there. Perhaps we play with the radar as well. And now we have a step line. So now this value is also accepted. And if we now stick that value inside of one of those guys here, so for instance here we did a pi, right, on the errors, and now we do a step line. Let's see if we get a different chart. And I don't know what a step line is. Perhaps it looks crappy, but we'll see. Okay, so this is a step line. Okay, just another example. Yeah, okay, it looks pretty cool as well. So it's the event IDs, but just another visual presentation, right? And I saw the radar as well. And don't forget, we have auto tab completion here as well. If we stop our script, of course. Hang on, I'll show that to you. Because that's the nice thing that we added those items here to the function. We do a validate set, so pi, pyramid, bar, donut, right? Stacked bar, all those values get accepted. So if you call that function, and we do that here, right? We call that function here, display chart minus chart type. Then we also can do a control space, and then you enumerate also the values you accept inside of your function, right? And so we wanted to play with the radar, so now we select the radar, and we run the code again with F5. Then we wait a little bit and we should get a different output. You see now we have a radar. Looks like a sort of roulette table, I guess, or a sniper scope. But yeah, if you like those kinds of overviews, I don't know if it makes sense for event IDs, but yeah, you can do radars as well, you see? It's pretty cool. And yeah, just show all the examples, I guess. So hang on, there's another one coming now. So these are all the system events you see. Those also have now those most nice green bordering, ultraviolet bordering we added. And we wait for the next example. This is the donut overview for the file extensions. Also has some nice formatting now. And this is the stacked bar example, I think, for the processes on my system. Um, um, Let me see. One time back here. I showed pies, pyramids, bordering. We changed some other properties like the background. We did that. I showed you the X and Y rendering. You know, you need that hash table with the name and the count property, right? That gets accepted by this guy. I'll show that. It's really important. Otherwise, if you're going to play with the script, it won't work. This line here, the XY, you see the data bind on XY here on line 65. There you have the item keys and the item values. And that means you have a hash table. Those have keys and values. And you pass that here and it also gets casted to a hash table. So basically if you stick a wrong type of array inside of there and it's not of type of hash table, then it won't get accepted anyway. So I built some security inside of that function. So keep that in mind. And the conversion, I showed you that in a very simple. So for instance, this is how I convert the extensions. So I put all the items inside of it. I create a hash table. I loop through the items I stick in. I stick the name and the count inside of the hash table. Remember name count, you need to have those for a chart. And then I return that hash table to the caller. And then that hash table can be used to call this function, this display chart and display information. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I discussed everything and I explained everything, and I hope you get some benefits of it as well. I'll post this code, of course, in the comments of the YouTube video, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.